According to official reports, it was just a tragic car accident, but much more remained. Unseen cameras, disappeared witnesses, and questions that have remained unexplained for years. Princess Diana, the people's princess, the woman who came out of a fairy tale. But even though her life started like a fairy tale, it may have ended in a conspiracy. In this video, the curtain of secrecy is lifted. We analyze the day of the incident, second by second, examine secret documents, and bring together the most talked about theories about Diana's death. Do you think it was just an accident? Or was it the silencing of a voice that needed to be silenced? If you are ready, the curtain of secrecy is lifted. August 30th, 1997. Princess Diana was in Paris with her lover, Dodi Al-Fayed. They spent their nights at the Ritz Hotel, but the media was very interested. The paparazzi followed their every move. Towards 12 o'clock that night, they exited through the back exit to escape the crowd. The Mercedes S280 they got into headed towards the Pont de l'Alma tunnel at high speed. And at 0023, the world was never the same again. The vehicle hit a pillar in the tunnel. Dodi and the driver died at the scene. Diana was seriously injured. However, the ambulance arrived too late. The health system in France is normally fast. But tonight things were different. Exactly 1 hour later, she was taken to the hospital, and at around 4 in the morning, Diana died. After the accident, the whole world was furious with the paparazzi. Diana's life was over because of them. But there was a problem. What happened to the cameras of some of the paparazzi who were at the scene at the time of the accident? Some of the footage was lost, some were never made available to the press. Some photographers were arrested immediately after the incident, but all were released. Were they really to blame, or was someone else hiding behind the scenes? Immediately after the accident, witnesses reported seeing a white Fiat Uno speeding away from the tunnel, but the vehicle was never found. So who did it belong to? Even years later, British investigators have been unable to find an answer to this question. Moreover, some of the camera footage was blacked out. It was claimed that the security cameras inside the tunnel were not working. But why? In 2004, England set up a special team called Operation Paget. The aim was to investigate Diana's death. A full 832-page report was prepared. But even this report did not satisfy the public, because some witnesses had retracted their statements. Some documents remain secret. A letter Diana wrote before her death has emerged. They planned to kill me by destroying the brakes on my car. She wrote this letter in her own handwriting and gave it to a close friend. Was it just fear, or was it insider information? Dodi's father, businessman Mohammed Al-Fayed, claimed that this incident was not an accident. He argued that the royal family did not want Diana to marry a Muslim. His claims had a great impact on the public, but they were never officially confirmed. And some of the documents are still classified. In 2004, England established a special team called Operation Paget. The aim was to investigate Diana's death. A full 832-page report was prepared. But even this report did not satisfy the public, because some witnesses had retracted their statements. Some documents were kept secret. As part of the investigation, the vehicle at the scene was examined. It was checked whether there was any interference with the brake system. Experts even conducted ballistic tests by targeting animal tissue with similar vehicles to test Mercedes' claims of sabotage of the brake system. Technical details, such as the speed at the time of the accident, the angle of impact, and the use of seatbelts were simulated again by independent engineering teams. However, the results were still far from convincing the public. Many experts emphasized that there were too many unknowns about the incident to be explained by fast driving alone. The autopsy reports conducted after Princess Diana's death contained various contradictions. The official statement stated that the cause of death was internal bleeding. However, some forensic experts argued that if intervention had been made more quickly, Diana could have been saved. The most controversial issue was the seatbelt. Authorities said that Diana was not wearing a seatbelt. However, examinations conducted after the accident claimed that the seatbelt did not work. Some parts of the autopsy report were never made public. This raised major questions about transparency. Despite the rapid response of the health system in France, things were different that night. The ambulance was able to travel a journey that took only 5 minutes and 40 minutes. Moreover, all the security cameras in the tunnel failed at the same time. Were the French authorities trying to cover up the incident, or was this delay a systemic glitch? According to some experts, the ambulance's route may have been extended on purpose. Diana's death shook the world press. Millions of people flocked to the streets of London. The reaction against the Queen grew like an avalanche. The fact that she was not given a state funeral caused great disappointment in the public, and the media was still blamed. But was the media just a tool or part of this conspiracy? According to some, this was a planned operation. There were forces within MI6 that were upset with Diana. Some witnesses died after giving their statements. And still, some documents about the accident have not been made public. Why? Who are they protecting? What is being hidden? The case was closed in France, but the years-long debates continued in England. Hundreds of books, dozens of documentaries, hundreds of thousands of pages of news. Diana's death became one of the most talked about tragedies of the 21st century. But in every conversation, there was something missing: the truth. Now you've seen all the pieces. What happened that night? Did she die as a result of a passion for speed? Or was she silenced because she lived outside of royal protocol? Join us in the comments, because this channel opens the curtain of secrecy with you. We'll be back on the trail of the truth in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.